Hey guys, we are here with an exclusive. I've got my friend Rebecca.
Hello.
Hi. And she was in the studio. We were doing a podcast over her book, Confronting Christianity 12 Hard Questions for the World's Largest Religion, which she also has. This is, hey, mamas out there, 10 questions every teen should ask and answer about Christianity. Don't tell my kids, Mom, and make them read it. And then her newest book, The Secular Creed, which just released this year as well, engaging 5 contemporary claims. Now, Rebecca, what I want you to talk with us about, encourage us, is there is a idea that we can sometimes get in this feeling as Christians is that we're dying. Like the world's taking over, this, the secular world, we're getting persecuted. There's going to be no more Christians in the world. But really, that's not what we're looking at here. So can you encourage us about what's happening with the global church?
Yeah. So when you and I were born, let's say roughly 40 years ago, sociologists of religion were pretty much agreed that as the world became more modern, more scientific, more educated, that religious belief would naturally decline. And the reason they thought this was because it had happened in Western Europe. And so they assumed that where Western Europe led, the rest of the world obviously would follow.
Yeah.
But in the last 40 years, that prophecy has failed to come true. And in fact, now as sociologists are looking out over the next 40 years of global religious trends, they're anticipating an increasingly religious world. And right now, Christianity is the largest global belief system with about 31% of the world identifying as Christian. And that is set to actually increase slightly to 32% by 2060. Islam, which is the second largest global belief system, is set to increase quite significantly from about 25% to about 31%, so becoming a very close competitor with Christianity. Buddhism and Hinduism both set to decline slightly, and the proportion of people globally who have no religious affiliation, so whether they're atheists, agnostics, or just would say none if you gave them a census and said which religious group do you affiliate with, that proportion is set to decline from 16% to 13% by 2060. And that's really surprising.
It's surprising for people to hear too.
Yeah. And the other thing that's super surprising, at least for those of us who raised Christian in the West, was that Christianity is today and will continue to be the most diverse belief system in the world. So today, if you look in terms of race and culture and geography, Christianity is by far the most diverse belief system in the world, hands down. And as the trends sort of continue through to 2060, by then, it seems like about 40% of the world's Christians will live in sub-Saharan Africa. So in our lifetimes, God willing, the most typical Christian actually in the world will be Black. And whereas today, China is the global center of atheism, experts think that there'll be more Christians in China than in America by 2030. And there's a leading expert of sociology of religion.
That's 9 years.
Yep. Leading expert of sociology of religion in China called Fangang Yang, who he thinks that China could be a majority Christian country by 2060. Now, of course, sociologists have been wrong in their projections before, not least in the last 40 years to now. But actually, the idea that Christianity is declining, or that Christianity is sort of white Western religion and that is instinctively or innately oppressive to people of color or to people in the 2/3 world, is simply not aligned with the facts.
So how does that encourage us here living in America?
I think it encourages us. We have this beautiful vision in the book of Revelation of people from every tribe and tongue and nation worshiping Jesus together. And we see the seeds of that earlier in the scriptures and of course in the life of Jesus as he broke down every racial and cultural barrier of his day. We see that in the book of Acts at Pentecost when God pours out his spirit and there are 3,000 people baptized from a crowd that included people from all sorts of countries that we wouldn't necessarily associate with the history of Christianity today, including like Libya and Egypt and Turkey and Syria. I think it encourages us today to recognize that in America, many of our brothers and sisters who share our deep belief in Jesus, our deep commitment to the scriptures, our deep desire to see others saved, are Black or are immigrants, or sort of separately are immigrants. I live in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and in the adjacent city of Somerville, English is the third most commonly spoken language at evangelical churches, after Portuguese and Creole. So there's this extraordinary raising up of people from every tribe and tongue and nation, even just in this one country, who are worshiping Jesus. And it's delightful and encouraging to me anytime I get the chance to worship Jesus with folks who come from different places than I do.
I love it. I think it is an eternal perspective that we need to have, that what's happening here in our city, our state, our country is not exactly what's happening in the world.